So after dominating the vote poll, this is going to be Mourinho's ultimate 3-4-2-1 that actually conceded only 0.36 a game and won the quadruple. It's an absolute masterclass. If you do enjoy the videos, be sure to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. But let's get into the testing phase. So we are going to start off with Mourinho's current team. That is going to be Roma, and he has done a decent job since being there, in my opinion, and we've done an even better job. We won the Serie A quite convincingly as well, being a 5-point advantage over Napoli in second place. I do need to get the name fixed, I am aware of that. We also won the Europa League against Atletico Madrid and also the Italian Cup against Torino, making this one a treble-winning season. Now, this is literally the best we could have done, to be fair to us, and also the stats were very impressive as well. 100 league goals, only 23 conceded. Romelu Lukaku actually making full use of that loan option with 49 goals across all competitions. A very good season from him, and it is going to be Pellegrini, a real go-to of mine. I love this guy in the game. 28 assists and a pass completion of 94 from Patricio in goal. Over to them league stats, we are going to feature in quite a few of them. Possession, not going to be one of them, unfortunately, although it is a Mourinho tactic. We're not going to have loads of possession in this three at the back system. Most points per game at 2.21, most goals at 100, fewer shots against at 244, most shots at over 600, which is very impressive, and obviously defensive masterclass himself, 20 clean sheets and 23 goals conceded, which is very, very impressive. In terms of the data hub, we are going to be looking at 2.63 goals per game, a conceded at 0.61, close to 16 shots a game, and a pass completion of 90.79. That is right, almost 91% on the pass completion. Next, it is going to be the other team I think about most commonly when I think of Mourinho. That is going to be Real Madrid. Obviously, has been there in real life, and we do these manager replication videos, recreations. I do use the teams that he has managed. And again, we had a very, very good season. Not as convincing, only a 3-point gap on this occasion, as Barcelona obviously take it nearly all the way to the end of the season for us to decide the winner. However, it is going to be a quadruple winning year. We won the Champions League against United, obviously the league against everyone, the Spanish Cup against Barcelona, and also the Spanish Super Cup against Atletico Pamplona. So every area we could have done Barcelona in, we did it. So any Real Madrid fans, be sure to leave a like on the video. Vinicius Jr. coming in with 32 goals. Rudiger picking up the highest match rating, which is very impressive to see. And I know you Real Madrid fans are going to like this. Arda Güler had one hell of a season with 33 assists across all competitions. We also scored 106 league goals, conceded just 13, and picked up zero red cards. In terms of the team stats, we're going to feature in 6 of them again. That is going to be the most points, the most goals, the most shots, still approaching that 600 mark on this occasion, 588. Most dribbles made at 684, and on this occasion, 13 goals conceded and 27 clean sheets. I said 0.36 in the intro, I think, but 0.34 is what we conceded, so even better than what I advertised the video under. And it was absolutely incredible this season. So really, really defensively solid. Obviously, this is playing as the powerhouse of the league. Obviously, Roma aren't the real powerhouse. So this is the real level you can get if you have got a world-class back line. Still getting towards that 3-goal-a-game mark at 2.79. Just over 15 shots, way under 16, but still 15, decent amount of shots per game. And on this occasion, we actually surpassed that 90% pass completion and go with a 91.33. Probably the most impressive season because of the way Manchester United are in real life at the moment. We won the quadruple with Manchester United, the Champions League against Milan, the Premier League against all of these other incredible teams, the Carabao Cup against Aston Villa, and the FA Cup against Liverpool. We scored 115 league goals, conceded just 22, and Marcus Rashford finally doing something this season, scoring 45 goals across all competitions, Lisandro Martinez picking up the best rating across all competitions, and Luke Shaw picking up 39 assists, which already sort of leaks how attacking these fullbacks are going to be. They play a crucial part in the tactic, they really do. But in terms of the league table, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys, it was by the skin of our teeth. I mean, 1 point difference. Liverpool and Manchester United both had incredible seasons. You can see here as well, it literally come down to the very, very fine margins. So a very tight season, but we got the job done. And going over to them team stats, it is going to be 6 again. Always going to be these ones, realistically. The most points per game, the most goals at 115, over 640 shots for, which is really impressive. Only 211 shots against us, fewest conceded at 24, and the most clean sheets at 21. Very good stuff. Data hub wise, we are finally going to break that break that 3-goal-a-game margin, coming in at 3.03, conceded still way under a goal a game at 0.63, getting on towards 17 shots a game at 16.97, and the pass completion, I think, is the highest at 91.49. And to do that in the Premier League, with a team which are sort of predicted, I think, 6th in the game, yeah, the tactic's nuts. So with this tactic, you're not going to score loads and loads of goals, but you are going to get really important wins. So with the Madrid highlights, I'm going to show you 2 of the cup finals. This is the Spanish Cup final against Barcelona, which unfortunately we did take a bit of a time to get the goal, but it is going to be Arda Güler eventually getting it in a 1-0 win. And this is why I say always download or copy all 3 variants, because we did go 1-0 down in the Champions League final against Manchester United 25 minutes in, and I was playing this one myself. I always play the finals personally, and I actually switched to that attack and variant, and it works so well. Obviously Alaba getting a penalty, that strictly might not be down to the tactic itself, but this play here, the expressive play, obviously playing about quite well for a Mourinho tactic, great link-up play through the middle, and Brahim Diaz gets the winner. Of course, we had important games with Roma as well. This is going to be the Italian Cup final, a 3-0 over Torino, a bit of an easier final as we get a little bit lucky with that first goal, but you create your own luck over a season, and that's what we've done. The second goal here coming in from a set piece from Chris Smalling, who actually had a really good goal score on record for us in this save. Again, this left-hand side getting absolutely done. We love to go down the left-hand side, and it's so easy to create chances. This is really going to show how much ice this tactic has, because, again, a European Cup final, we went 1-0 down against, I believe on this occasion, it was Atletico Madrid. It was, and it was quite a good goal for them, to be fair. Maybe Patricio should have been doing a little bit better. A whack on the attack and variant, and bang, we come back, and not only to force it, you know, this would have been a result if we got it to extra time, but we win the game in very quick succession here. 73rd minute and the 83rd minute, 10-minute spells, and that wins games. We are now going to go into your favourite part of the video. That is going to be the tactic breakdown. If you are enjoying so far, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And I want to thank all of the wonderful names coming down the screen right now. These are going to be new or existing Patreon members. We currently are approaching 1,000 Patreon members, so definitely check it out because it's absolutely popping. You get access to all 3 of the tactics, you get early video and early tactic release, you get priority in your tactic requests and rebuild requests, one-on-one tactic help, giveaways, and so much more. Check it out. It's going to be in the description and also in the comments below. But let's go over and talk about this 3-2-4-1. So it is going to start off fairly basic, and this tactic is not the most attacking or the most out-there goal-scoring tactic. It is based from Mourinho, so we've got to just remember that when you're copying it, because you're not going to score 5 or 6 goals or anything crazy with this, but you are going to get really solid results. So it's going to be a goalkeeper, simply on the default instruction, a central defender on the right, on defend, on stay wider, and tackle harder. On this occasion, I've gone for a central defender on the default, just as a cover role, to sit a little bit deeper compared to the other 2 central defenders either side of him, and just having that sort of bailout option worked really well. On the left-hand side, it's going to be a central defender on defend, on stay wider, and tackle harder. We're then going to go up the field a little bit. This is your 4 block. We're going to have a wing back on the left hand side, which is going to be on automatic, on run wide, get further forwards, and stay wider. This is where Luke Shaw was playing, and he easily got over 30 assists in a season. A very good role, and make sure you've got good creative fullbacks to really get the most out of that role in the game. On the right hand side, it's going to be exactly the same, so we don't really favour too much of a side. I want both fullbacks really getting involved and getting stuck into the game, and therefore we have them exactly the same. In the midfield, we're going to have a deep lying playmaker coming in on defend, one of my favourite roles in the game. He is simply going to be on tackle harder, because the other instructions that naturally get given to him would be what I'd put on anyway, but since they're already on, we can't do it twice. And next to him is going to be a register on the supportive role. Now, yes, if you haven't got a register, you could use the likes of a Volante. That would work completely fine as well. But for us, I feel like a register best suits the role. Going up the field, it's going to be an advanced playmaker coming in on support, on roam from position, and move into channels. And next to him is going to be a shadowy striker, simply on the default instruction. This would be your Paulo Dybala in the Roma team. And to finish it off, the advanced forward, simply on the default. Let's get into the team instructions. So this is going to be based off a clean slate style on the positive mentality. The positive mentality. We are actually going to go fairly narrow. So we are going to look to compress the team. We are also going to go with pass into space. We're going to go with shorter on this occasion, because the only reason I've done that is because when I have it like this, it's way too direct and we just completely useless in possession, and we don't really create as many chances. So it is going to be shorter. This doesn't mean it's going to be a tiki-taka tactic, because we are going to pass into space. We are going to obviously have really good in-behind runs. So it's not going to be a short tiki-taka style. but you are still going to have that direct approach. We are also going to go with mixed crosses and run at defence. So it might look fairly basic, but we don't want to overcomplicate this tactic because essentially it's designed to soak up pressure and then run at the defence and pretty much counter-attack. Transition, there's going to be 4 things selected. We are going to counter-press, work really hard to win the ball back, and when we have got the ball back, we are going to counter. And you can see here by this lovely image, it's going to be the left back, the right back, and the front 3 that are going to be the main men of focus to get forward and cause an issue. And why am I wasting time showing you this? It's not a waste of time. It's to help explain you boys that essentially, although 5 people are going to be committed, you still are going to have a back 3 with these centre-backs staying wider, so they are going to replace these full-backs, and we've got that covering option to help, alongside of these 2 in midfield. And when it comes to distribution, we're going to go to the centre-backs while taking short goal kicks. Now, out of possession, it's going to be a lot different to my usual tactics. The first thing we're going to do is we are going to implement this mid-block alongside of a standard defensive line. We are also going to trap inside when it comes to the pressing trap. We're going to get stuck in, and also we are going to select more often on that trigger press. We are going to go over an attacking and a defensive variant now, though, so do stick around, or you can join the Patreon, get them on a very fast download. We're going to watch a few highlights, though, with this Roma team. Or maybe we'll watch the United highlights, actually. We haven't even displayed that. Let's go over to them. I wasn't going to show 3 sets of highlights, but I think the United fans, including myself, need a bit of a pick-me-up and actually see us win a trophy. And that is going to be the FA Cup against Liverpool in a very comfortable 3-1 win in the end. Great link-up play through the right-hand side. And you've got to see there how aggressive Luke Shaw actually is. Almost played as a left wing in that box and getting a goal. Liverpool do get a goal here, and to be fair, it's quite a good set-piece routine. A little give and go back on the edge into Trent. It was lucky the finish, but the overall movement was very good. Luckily for us, Luke Shaw, who probably had the best season I've ever seen him have in FM, is just absolutely driving at the back line into Rashford, into Mason Mount. A little bit lucky with a deflection there, but it is going to be Marcus Rashford who is finally going to get his goal in this game. Marcus Rashford again spreading out into Luke Shaw. He's going to look for an option, the cut back into Rashford. Nothing they can do. A dominant final. Also had a very good Champions League final against Milan where we actually went 2-0 up quite early on as well, to be fair, the first goal. Just a bit of a direct ball in back stick to Lisandro Martinez, who gets the header and gets the goal. Great play there, though. That is a more beautiful looking goal as Mason Mount finds Rashford, and again, quite convincing. They do get 1 goal back, but it never really led to anything. As you can see here, a great ball in, a little bit of a failed clearance, to be honest, and again, back in the middle, a very scrappy goal, but we won the final. That's all that matters. Of course, going over to that attack and variant, we are going to see a few changes. This is definitely to be used if you are going into a game against a weaker team, or like I used it, if I'm chasing the game when I go 1-0 down. This completely transforms quite a compact 3-4-2-1 with not too much of an expressive nature to a tactic that is quite attacking and will have several chances. So the goalkeeper remains the same. The central defender does remain the same, but the ball-playing defenders are 2 new additions, because these are basically, it's more of an expressive defender role, you know, players that can play the ball out with confidence and might even drive forward a little bit, hence why we've got them on. Both are going to be on stay wider and also tackle harder. The wing-backs are going to be exactly the same. They don't really need to go on attack because they're going to get further forwards anyway, so therefore we don't really need to have them on attack. The deep-lying playmaker is going to be on support now, on tackle harder, and actually more direct passes, because a little spoiler, but the wing-backs are going to be told to overlap in the team instructions, and naturally anyone's going to be making overlap and runs. So I want one of these midfielders to almost sit back and just play the long balls, and that's exactly what this player does. The register remains the same, the shadow striker remains the same, the attacking playmaker, or the advanced playmaker, sorry, he's now going to be on attack, on get further forward, roam from position, and move into channels. So we're going to have 2 attacking sort of midfield players, or 1 shadow striker, I suppose. And the advanced forward is going to remain exactly the same. In terms of the team instructions, this is now going to be on an attacking mentality, still on the clean slate. It's still going to be fairly narrow. We are going to make a couple of changes, and the real changes are going to be the overlap left and the overlap right, just so we get some overlap and runs and really commit to the attacks. And also, we are going to add the addition of be more expressive. Apart from that, everything is going to remain exactly the same. Transition, 1 simple tweak, that is going to be the addition of distributing the ball quickly. Again, this is if you're chasing the game. If you're going into a game with this, you don't need it on. And lastly, we are going to go to the out of possession tab, where we're going to up that line a little bit to standard, and scrap the mid-block and go with the high press line of engagement, because we are really trying to push our way up the field and get stuck in. The press and trap is going to remain the same, the get stuck in is going to remain the same, and also that trigger press is going to remain untouched. Now to flip the script, to go over to a defensive variant, a tactic to be used not, I would recommend going into a game, but definitely to seal out a game if you're only a goal up, a couple of goals up, you want to save some fitness, you know, etc, etc. It is going to be quite a disciplined 3-4-2-1, with the goalkeeper being exactly the same, and in fact, all of the centre-backs exactly the same as the default variant. The wing-backs, however, are both going to be the same, but just stripped of a few instructions, so they're not going to be getting further forwards because I don't want to overcommit them as players, so they're simply going to be wing-backs on automatic, both on stay wider. We then have two DMs come in, which are both going to be on support, both on tackle harder. So in some elements of the game, we are going to be defending with the equivalent of a back seven. So this tactic is definitely more focused on soaking up pressure and then sort of passing the ball about once we've got it, maybe getting a goal here or there, but it's definitely designed to be a defending tactic to where you're just trying to run the clock down. Simple as that. Hence why we've got two advanced playmakers, both on support, both on the default instructions, so even these aren't going to be overcommitted, so even they are going to drop back and help, you know, either put in a challenge or link up the play to obviously just maintain the ball and waste time. Essentially, it's just a tactic to defend the game and waste a lot of time when you've got the ball by essentially passing side to side. Not attractive, but efficient. And to finish it off, the advanced forward on attack remains unchanged because we want someone to get us goals, and he's going to be on the default moving to channels. In possession, it's still going to be a clean slate on the cautious mentality. We're still going to be fairly narrow. We're still going to pass into space. Of course, no overlap and runs right now. The directness is going to remain the same. The tempo is going to remain the same. The only big addition is going to be the time wasting. It's going to be set to frequently. And also, we are going to play for set pieces. Now, I would recommend watching the FM Scout video, which has me in it, to get your set pieces because they really are good. And on this occasion, we're not going to obviously run at defence because we're not in an emergency to force for a goal. So we're simply going to leave it unticked. Transition, things are going to look a little bit different. We are going to counter press to win the ball back because I don't want to be a team that simply just sit back and, you know, invites pressure upon pressure upon pressure without putting any challenges in. So we are going to have that on. We're not going to look to do anything when we've got the ball in terms of counter attacks. We're going to slow the pace down when the keeper has the ball. And we are going to take short goal kicks to the centre-backs when we are in possession of the ball. And lastly, out of possession, we are going to go with a standard line. I don't really want to go with a lower line because I feel like it might invite a bit too much pressure, especially with how cautious this tactic already is. We are going to go with that mid block, the trap inside, get stuck in, and more often on the trigger press. Now, if you are really, you know, trying to just see it out the last minute or so, and you just want to go as negative as you can, you could easily drop this down to the low block, and that would really compress the team down, and you would easily have, you can see it here, the back seven. But in my opinion, keep it as the mid block because that is the best way to not be sort of overcommitted to defending and invite loads of pressure on. And that is going to give you guys 3 variants of Mourinho's ultimate 3-4-2-1 as requested. It absolutely dominated the voting poll. Be sure to leave comments, again, loads of comments what you want to see. Leave more than one, you can leave 20,000 if you want to, and be sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. And if you enjoy live streams, come over because the streams are absolutely popping at the moment. We've got a cracking low league save. Loads of you guys have already come over and said hello. But enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one.